Welcome to another video on the 6th edition of Tales of Coles County, Illinois. I am the author, Michael Kleen, and I wanted to show you today more about the what can you expect from the book. And originally the book was just one what I would call a chapbook is what we called it at the time. It just consisted of a small book that you stapled and folded over, and it was just this first section right here, Tales. It was a series of historical fiction stories that took place in Coles County to kind of get people interested and learn more about the county's history. Subsequent editions incorporated more legends and lore, and this edition is greatly expanded, and so not only does it include the original Tales of Coles County with the 4 historical fiction stories, plus an additional story set during the Blair Hall fire of 2004, it still has a section on the legends and lore of Coles County, which have been expanded and updated. There's new stories in there, new places and locations. But there is a brand new section of the book called Hidden History, and this is really, for me, was one of the most enjoyable things that I got to write about, because there's so much interesting history in Coles County along with its legends. So there is a sort of familiar section here with the ghost towns. That section has been completely edited. I included a few new ghost towns from the previous edition, but the major change in this book, the major update, has been a whole section on crime in Coles County. So you have all the famous murder cases, unsolved murders dating back to the frontier. We have a whole chapter on lynchings in Coles County. Not a lot of people know that there were actually 2 in the history of Coles County, and I go into quite a lot of detail there. Disasters, a couple of the ones that are pretty well known: the interurban collision of 1907, tornado of 1917, and I included a section on the Blair Hall fire of 2004. So that's sort of what you will expect from this book. The foreword, written by local genealogist Ann Winkler Heinrichs. I'm very grateful for that. We have a preface that tells the whole background of how I got interested in Coles County, when I lived in Coles County, what my experience was, what my background is, why I wrote this book, etc. So Tales is the original Tales of Coles County, of course, with an intro kind of telling a background on each of the stories. Then you have the now 5 stories. It was originally 4. And of course, in our last video, we did see some of the illustrations and pictures that accompany these. Here's the section on legends and lore of Coles County. These are all your ghost stories, haunted houses, cemetery lore, all that kind of thing. There's a whole section on Eastern Illinois University, has legends related to Burl Ives. Napoleon, who was once a golden retriever that was the mascot of Eastern Illinois University unofficially. The Phantom was kind of a prankster at Eastern. Pemberton Hall, of course, is the most famous legend. So Hidden History, that is a very thick section. A lot of interesting information in there people are going to like. sources, I have for references a whole section. Every part of the book is referenced extensively with books, articles, newspaper articles, all the titles and dates of newspaper articles, so that if you're doing your own research, you can go and look and see, maybe you're reading a section and you're thinking, that's a bunch of BS, I don't believe that. You can go back here, look in the sources, pull up the original sources. I'm not trying to hide anything. I don't have an agenda to hide information from anybody. I want everybody to go out and find these things and look at these things themselves. Then, what I'm particularly proud of is the new edition has an index, has a detailed index of people and places that you can go and, say you're researching family genealogy, or you want to know more about a particular town or a township, you can go look it up and find what you're looking for. I have it all divided as well into, let's say you're looking for a judge. There's certain judges in here. I know I have sheriffs, different mayors that are mentioned in the book. So there's a lot of good information in there, a lot of resources. So that's just sort of an overview of the new edition of Tales of Coles County, what you will expect in it in the future. I appreciate your interest, and I'm looking forward to receiving your orders.